Hello everyone, this is my week 23 recap. This week, I kind of started it again, as the last week finished off. I was using my meditations mostly to just kind of lift myself up. Didn't really have a focus with them, and it's just my quiet time. And on the Tuesday on the first, that's pretty much all I did. I know. I still do a lot of exercises, positive um, exercises that I got mostly from Abraham Hicks. Um, and, one of them is kind of basically is a which thought is better uh, game. And apparently on the Wednesday, I had a really good one. And so I had a real relaxing meditation. It was very quiet, and it was just kind of in that, again, in that blissful state again, which doesn't happen all the time. Um, on the third, my meditation wasn't quite as quiet, which, like I was saying, it doesn't happen all the time. It's a lot of different types of thoughts and everything that were running around. But again, if the thoughts aren't of anything of worry, then I don't worry about them. I just allow the thoughts to be what they are, and as long as it's thoughts that are in good nature and bring about good feeling, then I just allow them to be what they are. And on the fourth, I started to have at work, and again, I hadn't been doing any exercises for work in a while, and um, I had this overwhelming feeling that came over me at work. I mean, I was just overwhelmed, and it seemed like all that week I was, and so and that was a real tough day at work, and I came home and I was just really just beat down, and so I did an exercise to relieve the overwhelming feeling, and I'll this is be the first time I've really actually explained how to do that, but it's very easy. I know Abraham Hicks has like a focus wheel you can do, but it's really not necessary. You just have to come up with some thoughts. And so what you do is, and I'll use this particular uh, thing as an example where I had this overwhelming feeling. Like you have to be honest with yourself of how you're feeling. And so you kind of say it from an emotional standpoint. In that overwhelming feeling, I was feeling like, okay, I got too much going on. This is, I'm you know, there's too much to do for, just one person. I mean, I feel like, I got too much to do, not enough time to do it. I'm not getting the help I am. And so that's kind of the feeling that I was feeling. I was being honest with myself. And so then you have to kind of say, okay, that's how I'm feeling. What is the opposite of that I really want? If this is what I'm feeling, I'm obviously having negative emotion because I want something else other than this. So what is the opposite of that? And you could say, well, and this is what I used was I work with an excellent team of people that are always willing to help me. And so that is that's your subject. Okay? So you found what you're looking for. That's what you really want. So you take that feeling, you just put it aside. You focus on what you want right now, and you make a list of everything that are true statements. Especially at work, there are people that are helping you. You're just ignoring them. I mean, or just they're not significant enough for you. So you just got to start listing. Things that are in that that are true about people that are helping you, and you can go through a list of like coworkers and things like that, and things that are and you'll find that if you come up to with about 13 of them or more, if you can ramble off like 15, 16, 17, you will not feel that way again, that overwhelming feeling. I promise you that. You just will not feel that way. You all of a sudden you'll be so much closer to your feeling of your desire versus your feeling of where you were before. And especially when you have that real strong feeling like I did. I just was just like and so I just focused on that, made that list, and instantly the next day I was in such a better place. So, and I probably was feeling that because I was having a lot of issues. I'm going through a little issue with my house. I had a sinkhole issue which just got done today for the most part. Anyway, they still got to come back in a month or so to kind of do the second phase of that. But it was some paperwork, and it seemed like my wife is just, she's not the type of person that can deal with those type of things. She's from Hungary, and so her English is great, but I mean, she feels uncomfortable with doing paperwork and things like that. So I had to do all that. Plus, I was at work, and most of these, things. When you're busy at work, and then you're trying to fit in some of these other things that you have, responsibilities that you have to do at home, it can start to weigh in on you. Excuse me. And I think that's what contributed to that overwhelming feeling, was not just work, but also with my home life as well, and it was just a lot. So on the weekend, it was a little strange when I was driving home. I felt like I was getting a conversation from somebody, and I can't really explain it too well. But it was one of those times where I wish I would have um, had one of my little mini tape recorders there. Although I wouldn't have done it at that time because I was with my wife and my child, and it's just not, I didn't want to weird them out by all of a sudden just start, especially when I'm driving. I was driving down the road when all of a sudden it started happening. And I was just kind of listening to what was being told to me as I was driving, which is not too surprising because when you're driving, you're kind of in somewhat of a meditative state anyway. Um, so that was the first time that's really happened, where I had that. Again, I felt like at that point I could have been almost like a channel and just been tape recording what was being said. Again, it's hard to tell if that's really coming from uh, just my own imagination or if that was actually something else. Um, I think, sometimes with that, you have to allow whatever comes through to come through, and then judge the information. And then if the information is helpful, then does it really matter where it came from? Probably not, So, but yeah, I'm gonna try to explore that a little bit more because that's actually, again, what I've been doing this whole experiment for, is to try to establish some contact. And it was the first time that I really felt like I was getting a conversation going on, and it was just kind of telling me who it was and what its purpose was. I mean, that was the conversation. It was kind of telling me, and it was kind of explaining that it would come through if it was helpful for me. Obviously, they didn't want to be, and it came in like there was multiple ones talking, but they were all collective, collective consciousness coming through. And it was basically saying it would come through if it was helpful, if it was deemed helpful for me. If it was not deemed helpful, then obviously it would um, respect where I was. And it was saying some other things that I just can't remember all of them. So today and then last night, I had so much energy that I barely slept. I mean I was laying in bed just kind of resting, and I just, again, I try to be real relaxed about that. If I was sleepy, I would have slept. So it's kind of how I see it. And if I'm not sleepy, then I'm not sleepy. And it's 7 o'clock tonight, and I'm still not really tired. So for whatever reason, I just had all this energy, and I really couldn't sleep. And I don't know what was going on with that. I was a little bit kind of groggy in the morning, especially with my meditation. It was really relaxed and calm and quiet, but I think I was using it more to just kind of recharge myself. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much all that happened this week. Um, so I'm gonna just try to focus in on, if I can, that conversation that I was having with that entity, or whatever it was. I would like to continue that, and if I can, explore the option of possibly recording what it was saying, because I'm pretty certain that I could do that. So, um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So, uh, thank you again for watching, and take care.